Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are good, hope everyone is safe, hope everyone is social distancing and doing the things, sanitizing, washing your hands and staying home. Don't go out if you don't need to go out. Come on guys, let's keep this thing closed in and let's just not go out if we don't have to, and hopefully a lot of restrictions will go down and the curve will be going where we want it to go, so that we can start traveling and enjoying ourselves out there and life can go back to normal. Today I'm going to be talking about internship, of which is basically electives. 2 weeks ago I had a video where I was speaking how to choose where to go to do your internship/electives, and I'm gonna put the link up here. Okay, so internship. When I first arrived in Botswana, I looked for a place. I got a place not far from the hospital. Yeah, it was so convenient. You could even walk there and everything was chilled. Once I was settled in, I was like, okay, Monday, going to the hospital. We're going to check out the hospital, see how everything is, see where the departments are, plus this and this. It wouldn't even take lab codes, nothing. Just going there, just, you know, to scout the place so that the next day or the next week we can start. Then when you arrive there, the administration are like, okay, guys, let's go. Internal medicine, that's where you want to start, right? Let's just introduce you to the people, to the HODs, to the system, and everything will be sorted. And after that, you'll go home and do whatever you want. Then it happened that when we go to the morning meeting, they're like, guys, okay, introduce yourselves, introduce ourselves. They're like, who are you, where do you wanna go to, where do you come from, which year are you in? We did that, and why are you here, what do you want from us? And yeah, I explained everything. And then when it all started, they were like, okay, so you are going to green team, you are going to blue team, let's go, let's start. And that was literally how the first day went about. It didn't end up being a day where you actually go and say, okay, I'm seeing, okay, I like this department, let me go see the people, let me walk around, let me scout. It wasn't like that. Just got thrown straight into the deep end. It was crazy, guys, like it was crazy. But, you know, my first day was actually chilled. I had a Chinese doctor, which was kind of nice. And you know, when you have a Chinese doctor and we speak in a bit of Chinese, my broken Chinese, and he was telling me how things are done. Okay, the Chinese guy was the specialist, the senior medical officer was not around, so it was just me, the intern, and the specialist, the Chinese specialist. So went around, we did our rounds, we had our bloods. I'm a Chinese student, so usually in China we don't really get as much hands-on, but we do everything in our head. Like most of the stuff is theoretical. Stuff like taking blood, cannulas, nurses do them. So when you arrive here and they say put in a cannula, like, oops, I've never put in a cannula, I've never done an anesthetic tap, I've never done this. I know how it's supposed to be done theoretically, but practical wise, the last time I did those things was on a dummy, and now there's literally a patient looking at me, waiting for me to take blood. And the intern that I was with was like, okay, we are gonna do this. She showed me around how to work around the system, where to order bloods, where to order medication, where to get the material and the instruments that you need to do all the minor procedures, and showed me around a bit of the hospital, which was kind of nice. And before lunch, my day was literally done and I got to go home. And that's how I started my internship. I started in internal medicine. I got to be exposed to everything that was done there. I was able to do stuff like cannulas were literally something that someone would be like, where's that guy? He's been doing a lot of cannulas. Then I'll help out. So with more practice, you get to actually be exposed to those things. And if you're willing to, you will literally get to do more. I remember the first time I did an NG tube, which was where you actually put the tube in someone's nose and then goes down to the stomach. And The first time I did, I actually asked the nurse, like, I was like, I don't know how to do this, I've never done it, can you walk me through? Then they were so nice, they actually did it. And after that, I was able to do so many by myself. Things like lumbar puncture, you get to do it under supervision, because like it's a big procedure in internal medicine. And you actually get to learn and know how to diagnose. Although in internal medicine, the crazy part was doing the morning rounds. The morning grand round is basically where all the doctors, all the specialists, all the students, all the interns in internal medicine, we all gather around and go through patients that were being admitted the previous night or interesting cases. That's when you get grilled, you get killed, and literally you get asked questions that you can't even answer, and some of the medical officers can't also answer, and it's kind of tough. But what's nice about it is that it's an actual learning curve. And in internal medicine, the doctors were nice, everyone was nice, and even when you're on call, you get to choose when to be on call. On call, the recesses, there were galore, there was like a lot of recesses where we've been doing compressions throughout the night, trying to actually save someone's life. Some of them it actually went through, some of them it happens, you know. We try our best and hopefully things go right and hopefully you get to save someone's life. Then after internal medicine I moved to surgery. Surgery was a department that it was chill, like it was that department, it's surgery, like and I actually want to be let me not say I want to be an orthopedic surgeon, but one of my choices is to be an orthopedic surgeon. So I was actually looking forward to surgery, especially when one of the days when I was still in internal medicine, I went to A&E and I came across a patient where they were actually putting back their shoulder, the patient's shoulder manually into the socket, like a ball and socket. You know, the shoulder is a ball and socket, so they were like twisting it back into alignment, and they actually asked for my help, and it was so nice. I felt, you know, when you feel so good, the adrenaline rush, I was like, wow, I can't wait to go to surgery. And I went to surgery. Surgery was chilled, general surgery, the people were nice, you get to do rounds with them, you get to go for surgery, you go and observe or even assist if you're lucky, and you get to go and do the dressings, you get to do a lot of INDs, and it was actually nice because you get to do INDs from in all different parts of the body, and they walk you through where you actually get to get your hands bloody, and the doctors were really nice and telling you how to go about it at this part of the body, how to go about it at this part of the body, and what to do when you get inside, how to drain the place where you did the incision, and how to close up, when to close up, and what kind of dressing to use, which was actually really helpful. And you know, when we in general surgery, you get to do diabetic food, get to clean them, you get to do a lot of dressings. And you know what was nice was because you get to do a lot of different dressings, you get to know which dressing is for this. If there's a burnt patient, this is the dressing that you're going to do, for how long, when you're going to be changing. Is it a daily dressing? Are you going to add honey? Are you going to just use betadine? And I also went to urology. Urology was nice, where to some extent how I enjoy urology actually was like, I can actually be a urologist. Then I'm like, nah, it's just the people, you're just enjoying the moment. And I went to orthopedics and neurosurgery. Orthopedics, oh my god, it was nice, I loved it. The head of department for orthopedics, the guy was really nice. We got to do amputations of the hands, and we got to do ORIF. ORIF is basically open reduction internal fixation. Yeah, we got to do that in different parts of the body. You got to put nails. It was so nice. Like, I enjoyed my experience in orthopedics. And the nice thing about orthopedics is that you do the surgery, then you follow up the patient, they do recovery, and until they become like all good, they will be coming to you, you'll be doing the checkups, and it was really nice. And that was my surgical rotation. Oh, I also got to do cardiothoracic surgery. The guy was Chinese and he got to allow me to do a lot of ICDs, and those were really cool because we used to have a lot of step wound patients and they require an ICD usually for hemothorax, and it was chilled. The guy was really, he was good. And those were the departments that were then in surgery. Then after that I went to peds. Oh my god, I don't like peds at all. Like peds is just like guys, peds is the peds. Like the babies were there, the babies were always crying. When you have to put in a cannula or even take bloods from a patient, you have to negotiate with the child, you have to negotiate with the mother, you have to negotiate with the father. It's just crazy. And every procedure that you had to do, the mother is there. Sometimes I would even ask the mothers, like, can you just give us space? And the mother will literally just start crying, and you see when the mother cries, the child cries. So that was my experience in peds. And in peds we had two wards, where one was NICU/SCABU, and the other one was the pediatric ward. The pediatric ward, mostly you come across cases of malnutrition, you come across cases like diarrhea, dehydration, and you come across pneumonia, so forth. Then you go into SCABU. Oh my god, SCABU. Actually, SCABU wasn't as bad as the pediatric ward, because the mothers really want their children to get healed and end up going out of the department and going back home. That's what they want. So they will literally be like, no, I don't want to be crying, I don't want to be on your way, let me go out. Then they'll go out, you work with the baby, and you'll be there putting a cannula for like 6, okay, I'm exaggerating, I was going to say 6 hours, but you'll be there putting a cannula for 3 to 4 hours with just you and the baby. You'd even go on break and come back again later, so that you just give it time, the veins time to just breathe, you know. And what was weird, when you've tried everything and you can't do anything, you call a specialist or a senior MO. They'll be going for the veins on the head, and you'll be like, oops, okay. That was literally the first time I saw something like that happening, and I was like, oops, okay, this is kind of weird. But yeah, it actually worked. The peds team was really nice, because I think they know and understand how it feels to work there, and that you need a lot of patience, and they were really helpful, like to the best of their abilities. And yeah, it was I don't like peds, but they made the rotation fruitful, and they were teaching, and there was no grand round, but when you're going through their rounds with the specialist or the MO, you got to, you know, ask questions, you got to be taught how to manage the babies, and when you don't have something, what's the alternatives. It was fruitful. And I moved to obstetrics and gynecology. As a guy in medical school, I was like, nah, me peds, sorry, I was like, obs and gynae, never, I'll never do obs and gynae. Then if you ask me the same question now, I think my top options are obstetrics, orthopedics, nephrology. Those are the top 3 that I would go for. If I'm to specialize, I'm gonna go for those 3. Obstetrics and gynecology was my best rotation. I got to deliver babies, both SVT and C-section. Under supervision, we got to see cancer patients, cervical cancer, endometrial cancer, because they actually had a ward called Gynae 2, where it was just for patients who have cancer. They also had a ward for gynae, which is just patients who have gynecological problems, patients who are coming for incomplete abortions, complete abortions, and all those miscarriages. And we also had a ward for antenatal ward where women who are going to deliver, who are expecting to deliver soon, are going to be there. Usually people who are in latent phase are admitted into antenatal, or people are just coming for routine checkups and there's maybe preeclampsia happening and they are there for observations. Then we had postnatal ward where once you deliver, we take you there, we observe you for a couple of days and then discharge you, take you home. Then we had labor ward where labor happens. Usually people who are in active phase or people who come in active phase go to labor, you deliver. Then we had theatre where people are due for surgical procedures, go there. And that was all my internship rotations, and it was crazy, guys. It was the best and I actually enjoyed it, and the experience was good. I was all hands-on. And if you guys still trying to figure out how to choose where to go for internship, I have a video here, and if you guys want to check out my journey in medicine, I have a link here. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good one, and don't forget, stay safe and be good. Till next time, cheers.